Good morning, live on Facebook. Yes, good morning, live on Facebook. And I think, yes, good morning, live on YouTube. Morning, everybody. Been some changes today to my setup, which hopefully will make things a little bit more consistent. Hopefully, both the sound and the picture. Well, anyway, you don't care about that. Neither do I, really. We just want it to work, don't we? Bit like exercise. This morning, different exercise. Oh, I've also managed to fix the sound problem with my dingy thing here not being too loud anymore. Technical term, that dingy thing. It's actually an app called Tabata Timer. It's really good. The exercise today is I'm going to ring the changes on the exercise again today. Not so much in terms of the exercises we'll be doing. Most of those, if not all of them perhaps, you'll be familiar with from watching and I hope joining in with preceding day's exercise routines. The thing I'm going to do today, I'm going to take a smaller number of exercises and run them for a bit longer. Not the first time I've done something like this, but you'll see. We will start in 7 seconds. We'll wait for the ding. What we're going to start with is toe and heel raises, and there's the ding. So raise the toe, raise the heel. The body is moving slightly forwards and backwards. I'm not really trying to move the body forwards and backwards so much as keeping everything sort of connected so that as the foot rocks forwards and backwards, it just naturally rocks the body. We're keeping going. So instead of doing 30 seconds on each side, we're going to do a minute. And then we'll do a minute of the side ones. But for now, toe and heel. I hope you're having a marvellous day. And change to the other foot. I had a sleep in this morning. I didn't wake up till 7, which was great. I regularly wake up at 6 to start my day, but occasionally indulge myself with a 7 o'clock start. Keep going, toe and heel, nice and gentle, breathing in and out through the nose if you can. The reason I say if you can is certainly for the first X number of years of my life, probably until about the age of 16, I had breathing problems and found breathing through the nose very difficult. Now it's the default. Things change. And we now switch to the other leg and we roll the foot side to side. And the same thing, you allow the rolling of the foot to flow through the body. Doesn't that sound pretty? Flow through the body. But you know what I mean. Yes, I'm quite appreciative of the fact that as an adult, or older teenager and as an adult, I can breathe comfortably through the nose, because it was not always the case for me. So if it's not the case for you, you breathe through your mouth. We can all only do what we can do. Change to the other foot, same thing. slightly cooler waters than I ideally like is annoying the arthritis in my left foot. But there we go. That's life. And I am a kind of a glass half full person, quoting things like, I moaned because I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet. Things like that. Or if you've ever seen Life of Brian, I guess it would be singing Look on the Bright Side of Life. And, oh, interestingly, there, a bit of movie trivia. I'm not a religious person, but Life of Brian is the only movie, well, no, one of about 3 movies in my entire life that I walked out of the movie theatre. Not because I was offended by it, but because I found it really slow and boring. And I was, when I was young, at the time the movie came out, a great Monty Python fan. We're not going to change direction, we're rotating the knee in the same direction. So we're circling the knee, letting the hip relax, letting the ankle relax, but concentrate on moving the knee in a circle. The foot, one foot is slightly in front of the other. I don't know that makes a big difference, to be honest, but that's how I was taught it, so that's how I do it. Change direction. Interestingly, some exercises, when you increase the length of time you do it for, don't seem really any more difficult. The first 2 that we did, toe and heel and side to side, no more difficult. This I'm actually finding doing it, change to the other foot. This I'm actually finding doing this for a minute rather than 30 seconds. There's some muscles waking up. There's stuff happening that's slightly different. One of the great benefits you get from studying Tai Chi, I believe, I'm not saying it as if it were a fact, it's just a belief, is change direction. Oh no, keep going the same direction. I think I did that wrong. I think we did 30 seconds on, oh dear. I've got confused already. I think we did a minute on one side and 30 seconds on the other instead of a minute on both sides. So we're doing a minute and a half on this leg. What the heck, as they say. I keep going. My OCD kind of goes, oh my God, you're going to have done half a minute more exercise on one leg than the other, and makes me feel guilty. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on rotating that knee. I was losing rotation for some reason there. But the part of my brain that's interested in developing me as a person, change direction, growing and increasing my abilities, be they physical, mental, whatever, that part of me goes, yippee! Because obviously, whilst some aspects of OCD are very useful, for instance, silly thing, if you're watching a detective program on TV, you notice, I think, it's the OCD that lets you notice the little inconsistencies that are the clues perhaps in the plot, who the villain is. And I'm sure there's other benefits of OCD, but there are disadvantages too. Feet slightly wider than shoulder width, gentle circles. Only slightly wider actually. Nice and gentle to start. hip circles should be a circle, not an oval, so you have to make sure you're going backwards and forwards as well as side to side. Keep going in the same direction. I'm thinking about what I want to say, which is not something I generally do. I normally speak first and think later, as anybody who's known me for any length of time will attest. But in this case, I'm trying to explain, as we circle the hips, and you notice I still haven't changed direction, I'm still going in the same direction. As we circle the hips, what I'm trying to do is feel the weight changing in I'm trying to become very aware of the weight, the feeling, the connection between my feet and the ground, and how circling the hips is altering where my weight feels, whether it's the back of the foot, the toes, the ball of the foot, the sides of the foot, what's actually happening in my feet as I circle my hips. This is because in Tai Chi, the feet, the connection with the ground, actually pretty much any martial art for that matter, is of critical importance. Understanding it, being able to adapt it. Now we're going to change direction. If you are a regular follower of my exercise sessions, you may notice that I've changed the title on YouTube today from Tai Chi exercise just to exercise, because yes, the exercises I do are intended to help me with my Tai Chi, but because they also help me with my swimming, which is obviously different to Tai Chi, don't get them confused. You should get your jacket all wet. Although I have heard of people doing Tai Chi in water, but there we go. Anyway, so because the exercises are suitable for a whole range of things, indeed I had feedback from somebody saying basically it just set them up for the day. That's fantastic. We're not... some of the exercises I do probably are a bit Tai Chi specific, but most of them are just designed to help you. Keep going. If you can make the circle a little bit bigger, little bit more relaxed. The next sequence of exercises we're going to do will not be any longer than we've done in the past. So we will start with forward raises of the leg and arm, and then we'll switch to opposite sides, and then we'll switch to doubles and doubles opposite sides, and then we'll do the diagonal version. So that will take 4 minutes anyway, which is fine. So switch to opposite arm and leg, but still raising straight out in front. Doubles, same side. I don't know what the weather is like as you watch this, or depending on where you are. same side, arm and leg, diagonally across the body. Pulling the tummy in ever so slightly, or tensing the abdominal muscles ever so slightly, whichever way you care to think about it. Switch to opposite arm and leg. Sorry, I lost it there completely. I was thinking what I wanted to do next. Diagonal doubles, same arm and leg. I was thinking of the next exercise, which I think will be shoulder rotations, but I was considering options. And so when the dinger went ding, Robert's brain was elsewhere, opposite arm and leg, diagonals, doubles. Just stepping into the camera a little bit. Legs relaxed, knees bent, circle the shoulders. And when it goes ding, just keep going. So we'll do a minute one way and a minute the other. Nice and relaxed, looking for a full range of motion. Change direction. Going. Try and relax the legs, try and sit back a little bit more if you can. Circle the arms. Find a speed that works for you. If you want to pulse the legs up and down slightly, you can, or you can just keep them still. Whichever works for you. You can do a minute forwards and then a minute backwards. So when you hear the first ding, just keep going. Obviously, if it becomes too much like hard work and you don't want to do it, take a rest. If there was a coffee in this room, luckily I don't have a coffee machine in this room. If there was a coffee machine in this room, I might well take a rest myself and change direction. Although I must admit, generally I don't drink coffee early in the morning. Relax the legs. Turn the head side to side. I'm just going to stop for a minute while you do it, just to say we are doing the neck exercises, then we'll do some additional exercises. Nice and gently turning the head. We're doing each of the neck exercises, providing I hear the ding-a-dinging for a minute. Bring the hands up onto the chest, chin up, chin tucked in. Keep going. Look to the front, take one ear up towards the ceiling, then the other ear, stretching the side of the neck. Keep going. Try and sit down a bit lower if you can. Head, jump forwards, pull the chin in as the head comes back. Keep going. Chin goes down, keeping the chin down, rolling the head side to side. Sorry, just looking and see what the time was. My bad. Hands down, head in a U shape. Going to do a minute of this. When we get to the end of that minute, if you want to stop, please do. I'm going to carry on with some additional exercises. That's my OCD kicking in. I've noticed a bit of lint on the jacket. And stop if you want, but these are, oh sorry, that's not what I want to do. First of the additional exercises, waist, rotator. Right, I was trying to think of all the things I was doing and trying to explain them all at once, and I managed to explain none of them. Feet hip or shoulder width, legs relaxed, slightly bent, sitting backwards ever so slightly, waist turning, arms floating around the body. As you carry on with the exercise, so you gently try and increase the range of motion in the waist, but nice and gentle, very relaxed. Turn the head as well. I say turn the head, there is actually a variation of this exercise where everything is the same except you don't turn the head, you keep the head facing forwards. But as I think I've mentioned in previous videos, there are lots, and I mean lots, of variations of these three basic exercises that I am now doing the first one of. Change, I'm bringing the feet in slightly, the legs are pulsing up and down, that's providing the motive power to move the arms are floating forwards and backwards. And again, it's one of these times where I'm paying extra attention to the, what's the word I'm looking for? The interaction between my soles of my feet and the ground. Is it the heels? Is it the flat of the foot, the middle of the foot, the ball of the foot? Is it the toes? Is it the side? Which bits of the feet are pushing into the ground push up. Is my weight going backwards? Is my weight coming forwards? Is it going one side? Is it going the other side? I want to know that. The more I can be consciously aware of anything like that, the more I can adjust anything that needs to be adjusted. Because you're trying to get centered. You're trying to be in a position where movement, this is perhaps a Tai Chi combat thing initially, but it applies to Tai Chi for health and wellness. You want to be in a position where you can move freely in any direction with ease. That's probably the simplest way of explaining it. And we change, we're now pushing one leg, then the other leg into the ground, and the waist is turning, and the arms are relaxed, and we're letting them float up diagonally. One of the things that bugs me a little bit about Tai Chi is that a lot of the time, people, when they're talking about Tai Chi, when they're explaining things, get unnecessarily complicated. Don't get me wrong, there are aspects of Tai Chi that are complicated, but I think there's a quote, which I'm going to misquote, and I think it's attributed to Einstein, but I have no idea if he actually said it or not. But it was something along the lines of, if you can't explain your subject to a 7-year-old, then you don't know it well enough. And I think a lot of times, explanations that are given around Tai Chi are more designed to, I'm sorry I'm going to offend people now, but they're more designed to make the teacher look good and sound sort of mysterious. And obviously, since Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art, sort of vaguely oriental, and I plead guilty. I'm wearing a Chinese style jacket, which is, one could say, an affectation. So let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Heavy duty quoting today. Must have been bitten by a quotations website during the night. They fly around, they alight on your pillow and bite you in the ears. And relax. Take your feet out a little bit and just gently slipping and sliding the weight from one leg to the other. Feet slightly turned out, making sure that the knees are moving out in line with the feet. Gently stretching and opening up. Really much less than you could do. So it's not, which I can do, but I don't want to. I want to do less. I want it to be just a gentle warming up. Also, don't take the knees too far forwards. If you look down, you should be able to see your toes. If you go too far, that puts too much strain on the knees, and that's not a good thing. Nice and gentle. Now, if you want to go out a couple of inches more, we've done a minute, we can now do another minute with a tiny bit more. But the muscles here that are being stretched should feel comfortable. We're not trying to make it into a heavy duty ballistic stretch, it's just a continual light movement. Now, in 24 seconds time, we're going to change. We're going to do some exercises that, if you have any problems with your ankles or your Achilles tendons, I want you to either not do or take very, very easy. I'm going to be taking them easy because I've had both of those issues in the past, and I'm trying to strengthen that area, not damage it. We're going to start just by, we're going to start by coming up onto the toes and going down. Up onto the toes and down. Simple as that. Knees are ever so slightly relaxed. So I'm trying not to lock my legs out. Now we're going to bring a foot, an arm up, and just come up there on the supporting, there we go, that's what I wanted to do. Same side, arm and leg, but the other foot just doing a little gentle bounce. And I'm doing it very gently here. If I was on a carpeted floor, I might do it a little bit more, or a sprung floor, I might do it a little bit more aggressively. But it's just very gentle, well, relatively gentle. We're going to switch from the feet up to the top, and we're going to do these circles in front of the body where right over left, left over right, or right behind left, left behind right, whichever way you want to think of it. I'll do a couple really slow. So there my left hand is in front, there my right hand is in front. Legs are relaxed, knees are slightly bent. I'm sitting backwards ever so slightly. Reversing direction. Still doing this alternate arm in front. If you can't do that, if you find that difficult, don't do it. Take the feet slightly wider, move the hips to one side and then the other, and kind of use that hip motion to help you move the arms in a circle with the arms parallel to each other. Going in the same direction, we'll switch in 30 seconds, well, 24 seconds time. I'm breathing through my nose, and you may even be able to hear that my breathing is getting a bit more laboured because of the exercise factor, which is fine. So we'll be relaxing in a minute. Change direction. As I've said before, the purpose of these exercise sessions is not to exhaust, it is to energize. Actually, I don't know if I have ever said that before, but that is the purpose. Okay, the last 4 minutes have been a little bit more aggressive, so we're now going to slow it right down. But whatever speed of your breathing, breathe in with your in-breath, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Palms face down, the hands come up, the fingers relax. The fingers turn up, the palms go down. Palms up. Palms facing you. In time with your own breathing, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So you do it and just carry on. As you do it, you should find you can gradually relax. Slow the breathing down, slow the movement down. My legs are straightening a little bit as I come up, my legs are bending a little bit as I go down. Straightening a little as I come up, bending as I go down. Keep going. hands come down, I'm going to bring them together a couple of inches below my navel. I'm closing my eyes, but you can close or just half close your eyes. Relax the legs. Just going to breathe gently for a minute or so. Just relaxing. Nice and relaxed for a few more seconds. And open your eyes. Give everything a little gentle stretch. I'm just going to turn the timer off. Yep, that's the timer off. So giving everything a little wiggle and a waggle. Okay, that was 46 minutes plus some odd seconds. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy it and you would like to leave a positive comment, that would be great. If you want to leave a negative comment, you may, but if you do leave a negative comment, give me a positive suggestion. So, you know, it's rubbish, but you could improve it if you did XXX, rather than just, yeah, I didn't like it. Because obviously those kind of negative comments get ignored, but negative comments with a positive add-on, which will help me, they get listened to. And obviously positive comments I love and they get listened to too. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Ciao.